well asleep. Open the other window. There aren't any more. Then we better telephone for an axe.
The thing to do is to forget about the heat. You make it 10 times worse by crabbing about it.
Why not let her alone, old sport? You're the one that wanted to come to town.
That's a great expression of yours, isn't it?
What is?
All this old sport business? Where'd you pick it up?
Now see here, Tom, if you're going to make personal remarks, I won't stay here a minute. Call up and order some ice for the mint julep. Imagine marrying anybody in this weather. Still, I was married in June. Louisville in June. Somebody fainted. Who was it fainted, Tom?
Biloxi.
A man named Biloxi. Biloxi, and he made boxes. That's a fact. And he was from Biloxi, Tennessee. They carried him into my house because we lived 2 doors away from the church. And he stayed 3 weeks until Daddy told me he had to get out. The day after he left, Daddy died. There wasn't any connection.
I used to know a Biloxi from Memphis.
That was his cousin. I knew his whole family history before he left, and he gave me an aluminum putter that I still use today. We're getting old. If we were young, we'd rise and dance. I remember Biloxi. Where did you know him, Tom?
Biloxi? I didn't know him. He was a friend of Daisy's.
He was not. I've never seen him before in my life. He came down in a private car.
Well, he said he knew you. He said he was raised in Louisville. Asbert brought him around at the last minute and asked if we had room for him.
He was probably bumming his way home. He said he was the president of your class at Yale.
Biloxi?
First place, we didn't have any president. By the way, Mr. Gatsby, I understand you're an Oxford man?
Not exactly.
Oh, yes. I understand you went to Oxford.
Yes, I went there.
You must have gone there around the time Biloxi went to New Haven.
I told you I went there.
I heard you, but I'd like to know when.
It was 1919. I only stayed for 5 months. That's why I can hardly count myself an Oxford man. It was an opportunity they gave to some of the officers after the armistice. We could go to any university we wanted in England or France.
Open the whiskey, Tom, and I'll make you a mint julep. Then you won't seem so stupid to yourself. Look at the mint.
Wait a minute. I want to ask Mr. Gatsby one more question.
Go on.
What kind of a roar are you trying to cause in my house anyhow?
He isn't causing a row. You're causing a row. Please have a little self-control.
Self-control? I suppose the lady's thing is to sit back and let Mr. Nobody from nowhere make love to your wife. Well, if that's the idea, you can count me out. Nowadays, people begin by sneering at family life and family institutions. And next thing, they'll throw everything overboard and have intermarriage between black and white.
We're all white here.
I know I'm not very popular. I don't give big parties. I suppose you've got to make your house into a pigsty in order to have any friends in the modern world.
I've got something to tell you, old sport.
Please don't. Please, let's all go home. Let's all go home.
That's a good idea. Come on, Tom. No one wants a drink.
Know what Mr. Gatsby has to tell me.
Your wife doesn't love you. She's never loved you. She loves me.
You must be crazy.
She never loved you. Do you hear? She only married you because I was poor and she was tired of waiting. It was a mistake. It was a terrible mistake. But in her heart, she never loved anyone except me. Me.
Sit down, Daisy. I want to hear all about it.
I told you what's been going on. Going on for 5 years, and you didn't know.
You've been seeing this fellow for 5 years?
Not seeing. No, we couldn't meet. But both of us loved each other all the time, old sport. And you didn't know. I used to laugh sometimes to think you didn't know.
Oh, that's all? You're crazy. I can't speak about what happened 5 years ago because I didn't know Daisy then. And I'll be damned if I see how you got within a mile of her unless you brought in the groceries to the back door. But all the rest of that is a goddamned lie. Daisy loved me when she married me, and she loves me now.
No!
She does though. The trouble is that sometimes she gets foolish ideas in her head and doesn't know what she's doing. And what's more, I love Daisy too. Once in a while I go off on a spree and make a fool of myself, but I always come back. And in my heart, I love her all the time.
You're revolting. Do you know why we left Chicago? I'm surprised they didn't treat you to the story of that little spree.
Daisy, that's all over now. It doesn't matter anymore. Just tell him the truth. That you never loved him. And it's all wiped out forever.
Why, how could I love him, possibly?
You never loved him.
I never loved him.
Not at Capulani?
No.
Not that day I carried you down from the punch bowl to keep your shoes dry? Daisy?
Please don't. There, Jay. Oh, you want too much. I love you now. Isn't that enough? I can't help what's past. I did love him too, but I loved you too.
You loved me, too?
Even that's a lie. She didn't know you were alive. Why, there are things between Daisy and me that you'll never know. Things that neither of us can ever forget.
I want to speak to Daisy alone now. She's all excited, but
Even alone, I can't say I never loved Tom. It wouldn't be true.
Of course it wouldn't.
As if it mattered to you.
Of course it matters. I'm gonna take better care of you from now on.
you don't understand. You're not going to be taking care of her at all anymore.
I'm not? Why's that?
Daisy's leaving you.
Nonsense.
I am, though.
She's not leaving me. Certainly not for a common swindler who would have to steal the ring to be put on her finger.
I won't stand this, so please, let's get out.
Who are you anyhow? You're one of that bunch that hangs around with Meyer Wolfsheim. That much I happen to know. I made a little investigation into your affairs, and I'll carry it further tomorrow.
You can suit yourself about that, old sport.
I found out what your drugstores were. He and this Wolfsheim bought up a lot of side street drugstores here and in Chicago and sold grain alcohol over the counter. That's one of his little stunts. I picked him for a bootlegger the first time I saw him.
And what
And
about
I
it?
wasn't far wrong.
And what about it? I guess your friend Walter Chase wasn't too proud to come in on it.
And you left him in the lurch, didn't you? You let him go to jail for a month over in New Jersey. God, you ought to hear Walter on the subject of you.
He came to us dead broke. He was very glad to pick up some money, old sport.
Don't you call me old sport? Walter could have you up on the betting laws, too. But Wolfsheim scared him into shutting his mouth. That drugstore business was just small change. But you've got something on now that Walter's afraid to tell me about.
Daisy. Daisy, it's a lie. It's Tom. You know it's a lie.
Really? Please, Tom, I can't stand this anymore.
You two, start on home. Daisy in Mr. GAtsby's car. Go on. He won't annoy you. I think he realized that his presumptuous little flirtation is over.
Let's go.
Want any of this stuff? Jordan? Nick? Nick?
What?
Want any?
No. I just remembered today's my birthday.
I can't stop.